A very, very good morning to everybody out there. Self. It is morning, Los Angeles. It is around 8:30, 8:15. Sorry about that. In my long hours, staying awake at all different hours. That's how I do it. That's how your warrior junior. That's how he does it, man. He stays up when he wants to. A little bit too here. Um, when I mean, I'm pretty big into fitness. I got back in, but I'm not really bodybuilding, but I'm doing more like cutting exercises, the fighting. Let's discuss a little bit about it before I get into the topic. Um, Bruce Lee talked about this. He said he just didn't study one style. There's all these like private boxing studios all around me, and it's like it's either what you're trying to learn boxing, you're trying to learn martial arts, like in a dojo, trying to go to places for MMA, or these places that specialize in CrossFit. Why can't there be a place? Or is it F45? It's supposed to be like boxing cardio thing. Why can't there be a place that you can just go and you could do everything? Oh, there is. It's called a gym. Yeah, a lot of gyms, no. If they have a ring, it's only for boxing or it's for like MMA. Can't like use multi-purpose. Why is it like if you want to learn fighting, why do you have to limit yourself? Why can't like Bruce Lee was right, you know? It's like why can't you just be like, you know, like a freestyle martial artist where you can do everything, a little bit of everything, a little bit of boxing, a little bit of kickboxing, a little bit of like karate, a little bit of jeet kune do, taekwondo, whatever. Why not? What is this limiting? You know, these private boxing places. I mean, I know these people are taking boxing classes for self-defense, but self-defense, when you get it, if you have to use it, you don't have any glove. You're not going to be wearing gloves. So like, why do they wear gloves in these places? Like, I wear kind of workout gloves when I hit a bag because I want to feel the impact. Like I want my hands to get fucked up, not fucked up, but I want to feel power. And power, you're not wearing gloves with padding. Like, and this will lead into the discussion of like not the long road to progress when you don't how to stay motivated when you don't really see any progress in anything in life. But I think about that, and I think like all these places, they're they suck. I mean, they're now this one place down Robertson. It's like a boxing dog pound and stuff. It's all tinted. All these places tinted windows. You can't see in, but they had like the lights on. I was going by 2 in the morning and I was walking by and I could see, wow, it looks really nice. They have like a boxing ring in there and like some really good equipment. But I know I know like it's for personal training only, and it's just probably strictly boxing. It's like why can't you use everything? Why can't? What is this kind of limited things like? I mean, nothing against boxing has its place, but it's not self-defense. There's no ring. Like if somebody tries to do something to you, like now again, I question the narrative of like why can't these places like why can't they have like all different things? I don't know. You could have like you could hire specialists, trainers in all different things, not just limited, not just boxing, not just karate, not just you want to get good. It's like you want to be now. Kind of. I want to talk a little bit about MMA for a second. To me, that's not. It's a lie. MMA, what is known as mixed martial arts, is a farce. it's a slap in the face to martial artists, that have dedicated to um, become great at their craft to earn. You can look up the ranks, black belt. There's actually, I forget which art. It's actually a belt above black. A lot of people don't know this. It's a red and white belt. I've seen. I forget which art it is. Not Shotokan karate, but and it's not kung fu, which has those sashes. It's not taekwondo. I don't think so. Maybe. Uh, but my point is that my point, get it? Point, like that. It's not, like a lot of martial arts, real tournament competition. It's point fighting. You hit somebody with a legal, not illegal, a legal hit of a martial arts hit, and there's a referee there, and they go, okay, that's 1 point. Back to your thing, and it's kind of like that's like tournament fighting. In MMA, it's like anything goes except you can't. There's certain things you can't do, certain places you can't hit or do certain things. You're in that octagon, in that cage thing, and but you don't see. It's not real martial arts, So therefore, there's some locks, of course, the was a Komodo lock. It's a Brazilian jiu-jitsu moves. If you can get somebody like in a position on the mat. Yes, so I guess you could say it has elements of martial arts, definitely does, but it's not like clean, like, and it's disrespectful to call it mixed martial arts because it's not that. It's like these guys bruising each, it's not, you know, like in the Olympics, I guess they have judo is, an Olympic event. Um, and that's like, you could see that it's traditional, they wear the gi, the belt and stuff like that. And there's rules, like it's not this ridiculous kind of, it's just a disrespectful thing. And unfortunately, the guy that came up with it, he didn't come up with it, he bought the company for like a couple million. This guy Dana White, who I thought was a woman. Dana's like a woman's name, but apparently it's a dude. And he basically just said, okay, well, you know what, I'm gonna take this kind of thing and make it into a spectacle, because people are kind of tired of boxing. And then you have like big time wrestling has its fan base, but a perfect kind of thing is that, hey, we can have something kind of real. We'll call it MMA, mixed martial arts, and it's not though. But it caught on. It caught on. Carved out a huge niche market, huge, for the age group that kind of came up in the '90s. It was excuse me. I never got into it, and it's funny because I train in my gym, and I work on different strikes, hitting a heavy bag kicks and stuff like that. Even like flips and stuff. I flip myself. I try to anyway. Pull ups, chin ups, dips, whatever, like lots of stuff. And um, I don't know what these people are thinking. I mean, but I'm not training to be an MMA fighter. But in my mind, um, I am doing real mixed martial arts, not what is known by many. I mean, Bruce Lee was a real, like the OG MMA. Is mixed Jeet Kune Do, is mixed martial arts. That's real. What you're seeing on the UFC is not. That is it's just boozers. These guys like just. It's not. It's not. It's just a slap in the face. Really, it's something that this dude was able to, get away with, kind of, and you know, you could say the same thing about big time wrestling. Vince McMahon, it's not real wrestling, but it is a show, it's a spectacle, and these guys are talented. Um, they, not only that, but you know, the writing and the way that the characters and the shit talking. I mean, I watch like some of these guys talk, not maybe a couple years back. I mean, guys like CM Punk, you know, and John Cena, Triple H, really good talkers, you know, like in the ring, and they know how to win the crowd over by either getting you to really hate them or like them, and that's the magic. If you can do that, that's what I watched this and I was like, wow, you know, these guys, they really can talk confident, you know. It's not that easy to be everything. You got to be like, you know, I know these guys are taking stuff. That is, um, really helps, but you know, I mean, it's like a circus. I know it's a fucking thing, but it just kind of sucks that there's no real like a mixed martial arts where they would have like judo versus Shotokan, you know, kind of thing. That'd be kind of that's to me mixed martial arts or like you know different things like Brazilian jiu-jitsu against Aikido, Hapkido, or I mean there's like 100 and I forget how many uh, different styles of martial arts, over 100 different things, and you know it would just be kind of cool to have. Okay, well then have like well you can't have a boxer. Well you could possibly have a box. I mean they tried that. Was that you know Conor McGregor against Mayweather, and you know, Conor McGregor, if anything goes, he'd kill him, you know. But he says he only has to, but he can only punch. So you're taking away. I mean, you know, you're taking a phenomenal UFC fighter that can only throw punches. You're taking away half of his arsenal, more actually. You're taking about probably 60% because think about this. You know, he knows how to use everything of his body, his legs, and then grappling. So maybe it's like 75% because we can get you on the ground. We can make you submit. So now you can't do this. You can't do that. That's all he can do is punch. So you're taking about maybe third of what Conor McGregor is capable of, and you're putting him up against the pound for pound the best fighter in boxer in the world. He's going to lose because Floyd Mayweather is like 100%, you know, of this, where Conor McGregor is like, yeah, you but you're not letting him use 66% of what he's capable of. So there's no challenge there. He'll be able to hold his own, but you're not going to beat him. You're not going to beat. It would be like, you know, you might have talents in other things. You know, like I'm involved in dance. I've been in dance a long time, and you just let's say you're really good at like disco, and you know you're in a I don't know, a DJ puts on a couple disco things, and you're killing, and then you know you're some other dude is not really good at disco, but he's an all around good dancer. So DJ switches up the song, so like putting up the '90s music, and then the dude starts just doing shit from the '90s, like, and the dude from the disco, he can't, he doesn't know how. So do you see, like, it's the same thing. The dude that's like well around, he's okay at everything, but he's not like really super sharp at just one style. Um, he's gonna win the battle, you know, if it's a competition, if it's a dance competition, you know. I mean, you know, there's no real, you know, all these competitions, you know, bodybuilding, it's all subjective. It's all subjective. Like now, like in chess or, you know, Ultimate Fight, there's rules, you know, the judges and there's things, and, you know, of course, boxing, you knock somebody down. I mean, that's, you know, but it can go to a decision. You know, they keep track of points, connect, you know, of lots of things. Even in chess, you know, every tournament, I don't care if it's a blitz tournament or long drawn out tournament, there's rules. There's rules for that reason. But there's ways people cheat. You know, in boxing, of course, you know, illegal low blows and stuff. in chess and speed games, there's moving on people's time. Let's say I make a move, and once I hit the clock, the opponent can go. Well, you make your move, and before you can hit the clock, the opponent like prematurely makes their move. So there's ways that they can try to cheat, um, intentionally or unintentionally. I've seen both, but I got out of all that shit. Like even though I'm naturally very competitive, um, I kind of like say, what's the point of it? So that leads me. Let's get into the topic. Like how do you maintain that positive when you don't see much progress? How do you keep going? Um, I guess it's a vague statement because what are you talking about? Is it making money? Is it your fitness? What is it? I guess it could be anything, right? For me right now, I'm watching the crypto market, and that one coin, that the one that ACH, that one, I had a lot of faith in it, right? And it's like I keep thinking, man, it's gonna break out, it's gonna go, and it just doesn't. It just keeps pulling back. It's not running. And here I take some kind of risks where I try to like you know buy in between the fluctuations. I talked about this if you go back a couple episodes where let's say it's at 10 cents, right? And then I wait till it dips to like 9 and buy at 9. When it goes back up to 10, sell at 10, wait for it to drop again. But then I seen it go to 10, 10 and a half, and I'm like, oh fuck, is it going to the moon now? And it doesn't drop. So I buy it like, it's at like 10.75, and then that shit drops to 9. And you're like, fuck, I'm in at 10.75 now. And then if it doesn't come back, you get kind of impatient after like waiting. It's like, oh, okay, well, let me just consolidate the loss and then try it again. But a couple times of that, dude, you can get hit pretty hard. It's they call it FOMO, fear of missing out. But I guess what you want to try to do is say, look, um, not worry about that, and just say, look, I just got to make my little bit here and there, and all that little bit will add up. I'm just afraid to miss that big fucking takeoff, because I've seen it before happen. It doesn't happen very often. Um, with this coin, I've only seen it once, but you definitely don't want to be on the sidelines if something goes like takes off to the moon and you're not on. Um, it's like it's missing the boat. It's missing your huge opportunity. Um, but it can hurt too because, like I said, it can go and drop, and you're like, oh fuck, you don't know, the key is, just don't be greedy and try to make correct decisions. Now, okay, so you keep going when you don't see the progress. I go to the gym almost every day. Not every day. I took the day off yesterday. Um, and I do see the progress. I try not to be superficial with the mirror. I know people love to look at themselves and see the cuts and the density that they gain weight or muscle. That doesn't concern me. I'm more concerned with my fluidity, my doing, like when I talk about hard exercises, um, handstand push-ups. Um, now I'm able to get all the way down. Like when I'm on my hands. Now I'm up against the wall, upside down. But now I have enough power where I can almost touch my nose to the ground. Couple push-ups on the fingertips. Took me a while to get to that point. Um, Almost can hit 10 chin-ups. Uh, hand shoulder width, about shoulder width apart. Now the hard ones are the behind the neck. So what I do with that is I elevate my feet. I get it up to where I can basically hop up. Now, it's like, well, you're not really doing it. I understand that, but you see, psychologically, what you're doing is you're working the stabilizer muscles. that and you're getting used to the feeling of what it's like to be doing the, and I can do the chin up to the front, but with the help, with the little thing I can skip up, I can feel what it's like to get behind the neck. Um, and the stable, I believe, it's still the stabilizer muscles are working. And what I try to do is sometimes take the pressure off the feet and then really try to do the exercise while you're going up and down. Don't worry about what people are thinking. You're not doing. Don't worry about that. You get strong enough, you'll be able to do it. But you need the help to be able to build enough power to get there. Now, um, I forget this one dude. He had a great. I experiment with my own exercises, and it's amazing that on YouTube, um, there's people that give the same examples. I was like, wow, okay, well, I didn't get it from them. I came up with that on my own. It just happens to other people doing the same thing. Like the Olympic rings, we have those in my gym. And what I do is I'll take something like there's like a little um, tube, 3 feet high or something, and I'll balance my heels, my heels on it, and I'll just pull myself up with the Olympic rings. And I remember, so it actually strengthens the muscles around to where you get strong enough doing those, you'll be able to do chin ups and pull ups and all this kind of stuff. Most people are just not strong enough. They're they're hard. You would think like, well, you're only pulling your body up. How hard can it be? Well, it takes a certain degree of upper body strength to be able to control and to pull everything up. Your arms have to be pretty damn strong. And you have to practice, but you can get good pretty quick if you know what you're doing. So I guess you should be happy with making progress that way. But I'm just gonna hold the narrative that building a body is not building a life, man. I mean, I'm just telling you, like it's kind of like people that are in incredible shape. They got no money, like you got to have it all. You got to too much of one and not enough of the other is no good. It's like if your whole life is the gym and you're not making any money off that, then I don't care. Like, was it Dorian Yates? I heard him talk about a guy was like almost like a food stamps, and someone offered him a contract when he finally won the Olympia, like 3 years, 275,000. It was like life changing for him at that point. Um, but everybody's got their story. It's people that come from nothing, people you don't hear about that just never made it for whatever reason. They I guess made it is vague. It's really up to you. Don't let society judge you. What our definition of success is when you see people driving around Rolls Royces and stuff like that. Good for them. If I had that kind of money, I wouldn't want a car like that. That's not my thing. It just depends what your thing is. My thing, yeah, boy, I tell you, sometimes Warrior Junior, you got to be bold. I got to be honest. Oof, there's some of these chicks, right? I look online and they're like these Instagram models and stuff. It's really beautiful. And they do like private modeling. So I was curious. I reached out to this one. I said, I would love to meet you. Do you ever come to LA? And responded, it's like $4,000. There's people they got that, and they say, "Oh, I would love to meet her." Oh, that's the cost. All right, come here. But that's people that have big bucks. They can play that game. They can do that kind of shit. I guess it's all relative to how much you have. What you're willing to spend for something. It's like certain Rolexes. That's what it costs. You want that watch, that's the price. You try to find a little better deal, but if it's real, you're gonna pay for it. That's what it is. That's the cost. That's how it works. So I get kind of like down when you just don't see anything really in progress going. But say, well, the climb is it's the analogy of it's a long road and it's a high climb to the top. If you at least if you're climbing, you're on a mountain and you can see the peak. You know where you're going. So you're doing things and you just don't know if it's going anywhere. You could be on a boat in the middle of the ocean. Now, I guess if you go far enough, you will hit land. I mean, that's inevitable. Um, but you know what? If you can understand my analogy, my philosophy, that there's just no guarantees, man. I tell you the guarantees. If you don't persevere with anything, you will never be anything. That's the guarantee. I can guarantee you that. Unless you come into some money from somebody dies and you leave you money, something like that. I don't know. I mean, I'm just throwing out things, but that's why I try. I try because, like, if I don't, for sure, I'll never will be anything. I just won't. And I really do try. And it hurts when you don't see anything going. Like, you don't, it takes a lot to make things happen. My buddy, we just call him HK, you know, he went through a lot. He lost his house, like a lot in gambling. And Jesus, he wants to get a house again or a condo or something, but fuck. But he's pretty perseverant. You know, it takes years. I mean, keep talking about this doctor degree thing. Next week, got that final comp exam. It's either pass that or be gone. And you know, I'm hoping I pass it, but I'm fine if I don't. And I'll cross that bridge if I um, want to continue with my education. I have been accepted to other schools, but I'm weighing it out, and I'm starting to say to myself, this quote unquote doctor degree, if it's really worth it. We'll see what happens on the comp exams next week when I take them, and then we'll cross that bridge accordingly. Some things are worth it, some things aren't. Yeah, no, it's a lot of these places that have was just personal training. They're yeah, they're just they cater to their clients. They're I don't know, people of like, how do I say this? Like physical therapists and stuff. They're not really training these people. What they're doing is they're rehabbing them kind of or something. They're just not um, really that good. You know, they're not. I'm not saying I am, but I mean, I fucking really work hard. You know. Bruce Lee had a 700-pound heavy bag at his house in Bel Air. There's like video of him kicking it. You know. He knew. He knew. You know. That's how you build extreme power is to fucking have a 700-pound heavy bag. You know. It's extreme resistance. You know. I think he died. He was 32 or something. Dan and Santo, the guy he like fought against, he's still alive. People, it's like Chuck Norris, of course, but yeah, that was a huge shock. You know, Bruce Lee, just an icon. Uh, I didn't care. I didn't care for his movies and everything. I'm not into that. But what I really liked was he did this interview where he's like talking to these guys, talking about acting and then be like water. You know, just like I love hearing how people think like when they're not entertaining or doing what they do. You know, like when they're just being real. I love that. Like if I could meet somebody of like power like that, and then you get into their heads, you know, like when they're just not around, you know, the media and the people and the cameras, whatever, like that. I love that. I go, oh man, that's just like because then you can pick up some real information of like I love to try to figure out what makes these people tick, like what makes these people exceptional. You know, like I love to find that out, and there's no one answer. It's like everybody has their own thing. How they became who they are and gotten uh, worldwide or notoriety from you know as an entertainer or something like it's just like I love that. I've always loved that. You know, the see what makes them special. Like I love that to find that out. You know, there's elements of luck, but it's still like they say luck is when opportunity meets preparation. You know, and so think about you know who knows how many hours what these people have done. You know, you can imagine, and then like this right opportunity, and then they're just like the perfect person for it. You know, I mean, not everybody fits that mold, but you know, I can only speak for myself. I was younger when I was on TV, um, but I didn't make any money off of it. But that was kind of like my dream was just to dance on TV, and I got to do it a couple times with my stage name. I'm sorry, my street dance name. So, and that doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. Mattered at the time. Time goes on. Yeah, I know. It's pretty damn quick. I was watching this thing about Carl Weathers that he's getting ready for the role of Rocky, the role of Apollo Creed in Rocky. He trained at Vince's gym, Vince Gironda. I used to walk by that gym in Studio City all the time. I didn't know like what I know now. Um, you know, the dude really knew his shit. You know, trainer to the stars, you know. Yeah, that guy's a real trainer, not like these most of these folks out there. That guy was no joke. Okay, it's like a handful of guys like that. He was one of them. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Try to just remember that you're you're like if you're really trying the trenches, you know, and war is not pretty. It never is. Or if you're like you're training, you know, you're getting ready. It's you just have to persevere because there is no alternative. What was it Apollo Creed said this in Rocky 3? There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. He said it a couple times. There is no tomorrow. Stallone, Rocky goes, it would be tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. He was getting ready to challenge Clubber Lang rematch. Clubber Lang beat the shit out of him the first time. He was hungry. Mickey told him, this guy's a killer. He'll knock you to tomorrow, Rock. He was right. Mickey knew. Clubber Lang was hungry. He was training his ass off. And, you know, he worked his way up to be number one contender. He could see the top of the mountain and got there. You know, I hope in life that you can see the top of the mountain, you know, whatever it is. For you, it doesn't have to be the World Heavyweight Championship. It could be your own. You know, success is it's whatever you envision. Um, if you've been listening to me for a while on this, you know what my goals are. I would love to do something involved with martial arts and not MMA, you know, like that, but like something like or on camera or something. I don't know. Just wish like somebody would see something in me and give me a chance or something, you know. But just don't think anybody wants me for anything. I just don't feel like you know I have any. I'm not what anybody needs. Without an agent, without anybody helping me, it's tough. Okay. Well, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this one. Nothing on the women front. No luck there either. No. I almost went to Vegas yesterday. I was like, you know, I got some free time. Let me could schlep out there for a couple nights. But you know what? Vegas is not going anywhere. I'll go when I get these comp exams. You know, I've been thinking about that. It's start in a couple days, so might as well, you know, get a good shot at that first and see what happens. And then Vegas is not going anywhere. There's a big card show in October, sports card show in Vegas. I might maybe go to that. We'll see. I don't know. Yeah, yeah. Just be, you know, be resilient. It's easier said than done. I just, for some reason, I can't get that woman out. You know, that one woman that I saw that one time. I just didn't have the confidence, you know, and I tried and I gave up too easily. And that was like a rare one. if you get anything from this episode, when you see something that rare, don't give up so easily, okay? Don't give up so easily. We'll talk about that next episode. We'll get into that one. Sometimes you got to rehash, and next month, the 9/11 episode, the expose, the full thing, we'll be doing that too. So hang in there, my friends. Warrior Jr. is hanging in there too.